Mandalorians, legendary warriors known for their skill, honor, and indomitable will. But what does it really take to become one of these fighters? Today, I'm going to be breaking down exactly what it takes to eat, train, and think like a Mandalorian, ultimately leaving you with the ability to apply their code of honor and battle prowess into your own training in order to become as formidable as the Mandalorian warrior. This is Legends Forged, where I break down the training, nutrition, and mindset of warrior creeds throughout fantasy in order to help apply their own philosophies into our regime. So today I'm breaking down the Mandalorians from Star Wars. These are space knights, known for their skills, battle prowess, resilience, their sense of community, and their strong culture. From their ancient history to their beliefs and the way they grow up, we'll explore what makes a Mandalorian, the methods they train, and the things they ate in order to become some of the most feared warriors in the entire galaxy far, far away. The Mandalorians are a clan-based people, not so much a race of people or a species of aliens, but more so a method of thinking. Originally the Town, an alien species hailing from the planet Coruscant, they were driven out by the now human settlers, and after conquering the planet now known as Mandalore, they became the origins of the now Mandalorians. These warriors have managed to garner the respect of the entire galaxy, known as the most skilled fighters in it. And because of their warlike culture, they have a history of siding with powerful enemies that value strength above all else, the Sith. What you need to know is that their culture is built on war and honor, a history based on conquest and resilience. But to be a Mandalorian means more than just donning Beskar armor. Mandalorians aren't just warriors by necessity, they are also warriors by choice. They don't just fight to survive or preserve their culture, they fight for legacy. Combat and the Mandalorian creed is their entire culture. So let's see how this shapes their nutrition, mindset, and training. As I mentioned before, what makes a Mandalorian isn't their birthright. Becoming a Mandalorian is literally a rite of passage. The Vard Goten. At 8 years old, children begin to train their skills and survival mechanisms, learning under the guidance of a parent or a mentor. This training usually lasts up until 13. The Vard Goten can, however, be undertaken when the person is an adult. This rite of passage tests the candidate's ability to survive, fight, and adapt. And as mentioned before, it's what makes a Mandalorian. Literally after passing the Vard Goten, they become an adult in the Mandalorian culture and are recognized as an official citizen. This is much how the Spartans recognized their own people after passing certain trials. Before such a time, they could only be considered candidates. During and after the Vard Goten, Mandalorians train with melee weapons made from Beskar, their special material only found on Mandalore, the planet, not the leader. Quick side note, this material is kind of what makes Mandalorians so formidable in the galaxy. We already know that the two most formidable warrior types in Star Wars are the Jedi and the Sith. Mandalorians take place number 3, not only because of their culture, but because of the special metal only found on Mandalore, Beskar. This metal is basically what their armor and their weapons are made out of. It's super sharp, super durable, and stacks up to the one thing that pretty much nothing else does: lightsabers. The Mandalorians, of course, also train with many different other weapons and equipment. For example, we have basic blasters, flamethrowers, and cable ties that, yes, they do use during combat. A big part of Mandalorian hunting is done solo, so they need to learn also how to survive in harsh environments, and how to survive in hostile ones too. Now, back during the hyperspace wars, which is not what we usually see in the TV shows and the movies, Mandalorians were an actual society. They had an army, they had leaders, they had generals, they had a people, and they had a culture, a massive planet, an entire civilization. After one of the latest reigns of the Sith that we know about, propagated by Darth Vader and Emperor Palpatine, Mandalore was, well, kind of destroyed. This meant that most Mandalorian clans needed to subsidize. What this made them was less of a civilization and one people, but turned them into fractured clans, even warring with each other. Generally though, Mandalorians would become mercenaries, so their propensity for tracking was absolutely paramount in order to make money to bring back to their clans and build them. Such a holistic approach meant that Mandalorians were absolutely ready for any situation, and it translates into functional training in the gym, which means that more than strength, you're going to be training for endurance, agility, and conditioning, and draws a distinct parallel to military units today in how they train for readiness and adaptability. Now, as I mentioned, training wasn't only for children. In Mandalore and in our own lives, training can be used to build a community and to garner a sense of culture between friends. Like this, even when Mandalore was a civilization made up of fractured clans, they would bond and reinforce their sense of unity and loyalty by training together. An emphasis would be placed on hand-to-hand combat and grappling, primarily focused on tactical drills. And considering this is the future that we're talking about, marksmanship skills with a laser rifle would be absolutely important. The Mandalorian diet reflects their warrior and nomadic lifestyle, practical, efficient, and sustaining. Mandalorians prioritize high-protein meals in order to obviously build and maintain muscle mass. Dishes like tingala, a spicy stew made from meat and vegetables, provide the necessary nutrients for energy and recovery. Bone broths like the one seen in the Mandalorian series offer rich sources of protein and minerals, aiding in recovery and joint health. If you didn't know, bone broth and bone marrow both provide the exact same benefits. And historically, gladiators would consume very similar drinks in order to aid with the exact same thing. For modern athletes like yourself, diets high in lean animal proteins provide the necessary nutrients, vitamins, and minerals in order to repair cells and muscles, increase bone density, and growth hormone. But even a culture based on survival and war still has their fair share of desserts and treats. The ujalai is a dense cake made from nuts, dried fruits, and spiced syrup. Basically a fruit cake. This is, however, a great source of energy, and more than that, a way to culturally bond their people. Again, what comes to mind is the lone wolf dies while the one in the pack survives. At the heart of Mandalorian culture is the Rezon Nare, the 6 actions that every Mandalorian must follow. These include wearing armor and speaking Mandoa, defending yourself and your families, raising your children to culturally be Mandalorians, helping the clan succeed, and rallying to Mandalore's call whenever the aid is needed. These principles shape the culture of the Mandalorians, ensuring that every Mandalorian is self-sufficient, resilient, and loyal to their people and Mandalore. For example, the Mandalorians' Beskar armor isn't just there for defense. It's a symbol that other cultures also recognize, but keep the Mandalorians grounded to their own. Like this, even when the Darksaber was lost and Mandalore was nowhere to be found, Mandalorians still managed to maintain a strong identity and a sense of purpose no matter where they were in the galaxy. A Mandalorian-inspired weekly workout routine would focus on developing a balance of strength, endurance, agility, and mental toughness, reflecting their intense and well-rounded training. Here's a Monday to Sunday breakdown. Monday, combat drills and agility training. Your focus today is on speed, agility, and coordination. You want to incorporate high-intensity drills including shuttle runs, lateral jumps, and burpees. Practice basic striking and evasion techniques to build agility and quick reflexes, mimicking combat scenarios. On Tuesday, weighted endurance training. Your focus is on strength and stamina and consists of weighted carries and runs using sandbags or kettlebells, incorporating sprints and uphill climbs. This builds both explosive power and endurance needed for battlefield situations. Wednesday is functional strength and conditioning. Your focus is on full body strength. Today you're incorporating compound movements like squats, deadlifts, and overhead presses, combined with bodyweight exercises like push-ups and pull-ups. These movements develop the functional strength needed for carrying armor and weapons. Thursday is combat sparring and tactical conditioning. Your focus today is on strategy and reflex development. Engage in controlled sparring sessions or martial arts practice, emphasizing reaction time, defense, and precision. Tactical drills simulate battle situations, training strategic thinking. Friday, your focus is on high-intensity interval training. Today we're looking at endurance and explosive power. HIIT sessions combining running, kettlebell swings, and plyometric exercises. Short bursts of intense activity followed by rest periods, preparing for high-energy combat scenarios. On Saturday, strength and endurance circuits. Your focus is on sustained power and durability. Circuit training with exercises like weighted lunges, push-ups, and rows designed for high reps and continuous movements. This builds strength endurance, mirroring long missions and battles. And on Sunday, recovery and Mando meditation. Your focus today is on mobility and mental toughness. Mobility work with stretching, yoga, or light bodyweight exercises. Incorporate meditation or breathing exercises to build focus and mental resilience, essential for maintaining calm under pressure. Training, eating, and thinking like the Mandalorians is distinct in 2 cultural ways. First, they optimize everything for battle from a young age. Hunting, fighting, and surviving when others would look to thrive is what makes them so formidable. And second, their cultural unity gave them something more precious than even Beskar. It gave them purpose, a reason to fight. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like and subscribe buttons and make sure that notification bell is turned on. In the comments below, let me know any other warriors from fantasy or history that you'd like me to break down. Until next time, you filthy animals.